Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. There is new content over there. Follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram is at Anonymous Reality Tea. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so it gets out to the algorithm. Free to share with your family, your friends, and your foes, and coming or going, hit the like button. So today we're talking Love Island USA Season 7. We are talking about a ill-timed Teen Vogue interview that dropped for I Dare You, but the problem is the vibes are off, the vibes are bad, because this interview should have been dropped many moons ago. And I get it. It is promo for the Love Island USA Season 7 reunion that is going to come out on Monday. However, let's check out the lineup of people that are at this interview. Brian and Amaya and HUDA. HUDA, who is bad vibes, is negative energy throughout this interview. And then we got an ace appearance who has not been doing interviews, y'all. It has been MIA, has moved on from Love Island, but they somehow snatched him to do this interview a couple of days after everybody got out the villa. Then we got Shelly, and we got Nicolas, and we got Alandria for this interview, right? So the first question is, there's like this bit in there where Nick is asked a question to have them sing either the Eat That Kitty in the Hideaway song or Amaya's I Never Said I Was Perfect, and Nick can be in charge of the arrangement, even though he kept deferring to Ace. But Nick chose this arrangement that was very cringy, and I was like, you didn't get the memo. But nonetheless, they were all trying to sing in octaves that were beyond their range and everything else. So we'll just get that out the way, right? So we start off, Ace gets a question, because there's like a whole thing of truth or dare questions, right? And so Ace is asked who he thinks is, the smartest and who he thinks, basically got into trouble and everything else all the time or whatever else. And he felt that, Nicolas was probably the one that was causing havoc in the classroom, in which Nick co-signed. And then he felt that Olandria was probably the one who had the highest GPA out of all of them. And he said that, she's very smart, she's beautiful, and Alandria was like, thanks, Ace, and everything else, right? Next, they go on to ask a question to Miss Shelly, right? And Shelly, they ask, okay, Shelly chooses a dare. So Brian hands her the dare and asks her, okay, I dare you to call an islander of the opposite sex and see if they answer. So Shelly chooses Taylor. And she said Taylor is her bestie. So Taylor, why did Taylor answer right away, y'all? Taylor answered right away. He was like, Shelly, my bestie, I love you. Now, Alandria's face is not featuring it. However, I feel at this point in time, like everybody's got their own little relationships and side friendships and everything else. Keep in mind with this interview, this, I believe, was the same day as HUDA's interview drop with Call Her Daddy, in which she said that she was bullied and that none of the girls had her back. So it is awkward. None of the less. Taylor answers, and then Taylor makes a comment that he's glad that he got this call and not Ace getting this question, because it would have been super duper messy and everything else. So that was the gist of that. Then they had Brian, right? Brian was next. They asked Brian to have a go around the room, go around with everybody who, give like a yearbook style superlatives, right? How now I'm butchering the word. Yearbook superlatives. And Brian could not say it or whatever else, and that turned into a whole conversation within itself. He said that Alandria was the most memeable. Said Amaya was his future wife. Said Nicolas had the best alter ego. said that the class clown was pretty easy. That would go to Ace. Said that the most down to earth is Mean Girl Shelly. Like, make it make sense. Y'all were trying to call Shelly a mean girl, and she's the most down to earth and apparently the best rapper. Apparently she has been spitting bars. Y'all kept calling Shelly boring, and I kept telling y'all it depends on how they edit this show. They can edit this show to be whoever they want you to be. They can edit this show to where you're the perpetual victim, to where you're the baddest, to where you're all of these things, but I am going to take cues sometimes from the edit and how you conduct yourself outside of this show. And I know Shelly and Alandria were real ones. And I know that they were hiding Shelly's real personality the whole time. The whole time they were hiding who Shelly really was. Apparently, she is a ball of energy. She's a lot of fun. She posted on TikTok yesterday a behind the scenes of her getting started a song from Beauty and the Beast and getting all the girls involved. So she's a fun time. So then also, I'm trying to think what else they said as well. Yeah, because they said that she was like the best rapper and everything else. So then, like I said, they went into the Eat the Kitty and the Hideaway stuff and everything else. And then also, what else? There was a question, there was a truth question that went to Alandria, and it was weird because Huda is sitting there with the truth box, right? So theoretically, she should give the truth box question to Alandria, right? But instead, Huda's being weird. So Amaya has to get the question out and give it to Alandria. And these are the things that I'm talking about. So the question that Alandria had was, what was her dream life post-Villa? And initially she was like, oh, you know, let's put this back or whatever else. But then she said, you know, what are you trying to do? Like, what are you into? So Alandria said she wants to do modeling. She was asking about, you know, if she wants to have pets or kids. And Alandria was like, I'm a Southern girl and everything else. She said for the right opportunity, she would move to LA. And everything else. She would like to live in a high rise and everything else. Didn't really say she wanted kids, though. She didn't even want pets. Not even, and Shelly was like, not even like fishes or anything. And they were like, no. And so when Alandria made the comment that she did not want kids, Shelly made the comment, and this was shade to their baby challenge. She was like, you know, is that a lie? Because I'm supposed to be I'm supposed to be Marcel's auntie. So are you trying to be like an abandoned? See, I told you you were an absent mother and everything else, and throwing shade to Alandria. But somehow the Huda rats, the Huda fans, have twisted this around to say that Alandria and Shelly were being mean girls about not being a mom or not being a present mom. And I feel like you were triggered because you're basically throwing shade at your fave for running around town with Louis instead of being present for the child. But none of the less, Amaya had the question of who was the best cooked and who cooked the best and everything else. She said Pepe. She said Pepe was throwing down. He was throwing down on the pancakes. I thought Ace cooked a lot, though, because they showed us in the edit Ace cooking a lot. But towards the end, we saw Pepe making all types of interesting pancakes with different types of sayings on it and everything else. And then Amaya wanted to let us know that she was in the kitchen as well. She wanted to let us know that she was making grilled cheese with extra butter and honey, you guys. And so, yeah. And then she would make these smoothies with like half of the tub of peanut butter and everything else. So that was, you know, that on that. So then there was a question too. There was like a staring contest that had to take place as well to stare. Each person stare at the person next to you and everything else. And then Brian said that Huda's most likely to be a pop star, and I just don't know what he'd be talking about sometimes. But none of the less, the part that people are going to talk about is when Huda got asked what challenge would she never do again and what challenge would she redo, right? Because that's kind of like the gist. That's kind of like the meat and potatoes of this. So she said she would not do the milk challenge again just because of, you know, and it was a nasty challenge, right? I agree with her there. But she said the challenge she would redo over, which got a lot of side eyes from everybody else in the room, said that she would redo the stand on business challenge. And I felt that was kind of shady because that was the challenge, one of a few, that between that and the heart rate challenge, that caused the most controversy, and that labeled Shelly and Alandria as mean girls. And according to Adrina, the Stand on Business Challenge actually went on for 6 hours. And actually, the whole villa was coming for Huda. But we only saw a snippet. We only saw the Huda versus Shelly of it all. And we only saw the Alandria exposing that Huda and Chris had a kiss outside of a challenge of it all. We didn't get to the nitty gritty of other people calling Huda out, with the exception of Nicolas saying, hey, you know, we could be cool and everything else, but I'm still going to vote you out this villa every single time. So I took that as shade because I think, you know, now that everything has happened, now that the Call Her Daddy interview has dropped at this point in time, I'm thinking Huda basically is saying she would have done the Stand on Business Challenge again so that she could cuss out Shelly and Alandria. Is what I'm thinking she's really trying to say. But instead of saying that, she just tries to keep it cute and pretend that, like, everything is rainbows and flowers. But nonetheless, that is the gist of what happened with this Teen Vogue I Dare You. That was the bulk of it. That was the meat and the potatoes of it all. It has 35,000 views. It came out 3 hours ago. So if you tune into it, really, I would recommend watching it and just looking at the facial expressions of everybody, because you can tell that Huda is draining the energy out of the room. She's draining the energy out of the room. When she's laughing, nobody else is except for Amaya. When everybody else is laughing, Huda is not laughing, and she is rolling her eyes and everything else. Like, it is just, the chemistry is not there. Why wasn't Pepe and Iris available or whatever else? Because Huda is just being in a Debbie Downer mode. It is clear as day she does not like these people. She doesn't like them, with the exception of Amaya. Amaya is the only person she likes. Everybody else, nope. I mean, she gave a little hee ha ha when Nick was talking, when Nicolas was talking, but outside of that, she cares less, y'all. So there's that. That is it. That is all for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.